Hi, Professor. This is Wendell, and I will be discussing both the ballot creator and the ballot approver. Both are really unique objects that rely extensively on the base ballot object, which is the main brains of the whole vote casting process. Um, the ballot builder works dynamically to add and remove candidates, while the the ballot approver simply gives the approver an ability to view ballots that have already been submitted um, for approval and to go ahead and approve those or deny them. So without further ado, I'll get right into how each of them works. The first thing we'll look at here is the code for the ballot builder object. So right away, the ballot builder jumps in and subscribes to the ballot object uh, that's being emitted back from the ballot service. And right after that, once a ballot is created and a ballot is found, then a ballot form is displayed. And we list the seats that are already there. Here is where we dynamically create the form elements. Each candidate ID has a random, or each candidate has a random candidate ID, and the clerk is responsible for filling in the first name, last name, and the party. On reset, we completely clear the form, and on submit, we relist the seats and convert the the payload, which is the seats that were created by the clerk, into a JSON object and push them onto the array, checking to see if a seat already exists and creating one if it doesn't. So with that, we'll jump straight over to the view. Here's the ballot builder view. As you can see, we already have a senator view as well as a governor view. So let's create a new one. We'll start by creating a new seat. And add that to the ballot. Here you can see the mayor seat was created with my name as well as my party. From here, I can save the ballot or submit for approval, but yeah, I'll show a little more functionality. Next, we'll add to a seat that's already created, as well as taking advantage of some of the dynamic functionality of the ballot builder form. Let's see how that works. And now we'll just add another candidate in to the form before we submit it to the ballot. Now let's add both of these to the ballot. The assumption is that since the senator seat is already created, these two candidates will be pushed onto the senator seat. A failure would be if a new senator seat was created. Let's see what happens. Success. The two candidates were added to the senator seat and the ballot form reset. From here, we have the option to save the ballot, and that brings us back to the authorization menu. Optionally, instead of saving to the ballot, we also have the submit process. Let's add some more names. Now let's submit this ballot for approval. Just like with the save process, we get confirmation that the ballot was approved and redirected. Before we go further, I feel it's necessary to discuss the ballot service component. Here we use the observable pattern to call the different backend methods. For this particular instance, we use the get ballot to get the ballot based on the election date, precinct ID, and the roll. Save the ballot using the ballot, submitting the ballot to be saved, and submitting the ballot. This submits the ballot for approval, as well as for publishing. Next, we come to the code for the ballot approver, which is really an overall simple object. Here, the first thing we do is initialize a ballot. As soon as the object is built, we pull whatever ballots the approver can see. Then the approver has the right to, or has the option to either approve a ballot or reject the ballot. If he approves the ballot, he sets the is complete attribute of the ballot to true. He sets the is approved attribute of the ballot to true. He sets the ballot status to 7002, which is work in progress. And then he submits the ballot. He publishes the ballot through the same method that he would use to submit it if the ballot was incomplete. Which brings us to the next one, where he rejects the ballot. He sets the is complete attribute to false. He sets the is approved attribute to false, and he changes the ballot status to 7004 and publishes the ballot. Here's the front end view that an approver would get should he have a ballot in the queue to be approved, and he has the option to either approve the ballot or reject the ballot. Unlike the other views, the approver can't select any other candidates or make any edits. The only things he can do is approve or reject. Another feature that is important for you to know is the responsiveness of the ballot. The ballot is designed with the mobile first view, so the page responds to mobile views as well as the normal desktop view. Now, when the approver approves the ballot, both fields are set to true, and the approver receives confirmation. Should the approver decide to reject the ballot, the, the ballots is approved and is completed set to false, and again the approver receives confirmation. This concludes my portion of the demonstration. Thank you for your time, sir. And this concludes my portion of the demonstration. Thank you for your time, sir.